These are the ghoulies, ghosties, long-legged beasties, and things that go bump in the night. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 legendary spirits and ghosts.
Does this look familiar?
Oh my God, yes.
For this list, we're looking at the most famous spooks and spirits reportedly recorded around the world throughout history. Some of these speculative specters have been the subjects of popular books and movies, so don't be surprised if you see some of your old favorites.
What's wrong, Ronnie?
I love you, Jody.
Number 10. Peg Entwistle.
You ever seen the spirit of Peg Entwistle?
The rangers will tell you this. They've been here for like 20 plus years.
Yeah.
They say that if you go that trail at night, you will see her between, I don't know, midnight, I don't know what it is.
Really?
They see it all the time.
In life, this Welsh-born English beauty was aspiring stage and screen actress Millicent Lillian Peg Entwistle. Tragically, she only achieved the fame she craved after she leapt from the H on the, as it was then known, Hollywoodland sign to her death.
She wrote the ending to her own story.
On September 18, 1932, Hollywood police got an anonymous phone call from a woman who claimed to have found a body under the sign. But that was not the last time Peg was found. Not alive, anyway. Since her death, hikers and park rangers have reported a ghostly blonde-haired woman sadly wandering near the iconic landmark, but who vanishes if you approach. Others have reported the overpowering scent of gardenias, Peg's signature perfume.
It's been 70 plus years since she died, but people still see a woman in period clothing appropriate for the time that she died, walking up that lonely road up to the sign.
Number 9. The Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. The Brown Lady is thought to be the ghost of Lady Dorothy Walpole, the sorely mistreated wife of Viscount Charles Townshend. Locked in her rooms by her husband until her death in 1726, some believe she still haunts the house she could never leave. So nicknamed because of the brown brocade dress she wears, many have encountered the lady, including guests of a Christmas party who reported a lady with no eyes, King George IV, who left in the night as a result, and Captain Frederick Marriott, who described encountering a woman who, quote, grinned in a malicious and diabolical manner. Yikes. In 1936, a London-based photographer managed to capture the now famous image of the lady on the stairs. Number 8. Lincoln's Ghost, also known as the White House Ghost.
The president is no more.
Since that fateful night at Ford's Theater in 1865, countless people, from presidents to visiting statesmen and women to staff, have reported seeing Abe's ghost throughout the White House. Some have simply heard footsteps and knocking, and attributed the sounds to the deceased prez.
The president has been shot. The president has been shot at Ford's Theater.
However, in 1942, Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands heard a knock at her guest room door. When she answered, there stood the former president. The Queen immediately fainted. Furthermore, Sir Winston Churchill, fresh from a bath, was surprised to see Lincoln standing by his fireplace. The British Prime Minister, never to be outdone, bid him good evening and admitted himself at a disadvantage, to which the ghost reportedly smiled as though amused and vanished.
I love that story.
Number 7. The Flying Dutchman. Not a person this time, but a ship. While there are variations to the legend, the basic story involves Captain Hendrik Vanderdecken, who in 1641 ignored the pleas of his crew to take safe harbor during a storm. He swore not even God could halt his course, and from that time on, the Flying Dutchman and its entire crew were cursed.
I offer you a choice. Join my crew and postpone judgment.
Accounts of the doomed ship have cropped up all over the world, with the ghost ship usually interpreted as an omen for a coming storm or death.
It was always in my blood to die at sea. It was not a fate I ever wanted for you.
The chilling tale of the doomed crew, first spread by sailors, has since seen its share of exposure in popular culture, however, inspiring everything from a Wagner opera to the Pirates of the Caribbean to SpongeBob SquarePants.
That ship has a spooky green glow around it.
That's probably because its good-for-nothing owner is too lazy to clean or drop his anchors in the right place.
Number 6. The Ghosts of the Stanley Hotel. The inspiration for Stephen King's Overlook Hotel in The Shining, the Stanley Hotel is said to be inhabited by many ghosts.
Hello, Danny. Come and play with us.
Staff and guests have complained of bizarre sounds, objects moving of their own accord, and the piano in the dining room playing by itself at night. When the hotel opened in 1909, it was considered one of the pinnacle luxury hotels. However, first hauntings were reported as far back as 1911, after a housekeeper, Elizabeth Wilson, was electrocuted during a storm and survived. Paranormal activity is frequently reported in room 217 and the concert hall. In early 2016, a tourist snapped some photographs of the empty lobby, only to find that perhaps he hadn't been so alone after all. Number 5. The Bell Witch.
This story is one of the only paranormal related events where it is said an evil entity actually caused the death, murdered a living person, John Bell.
A frightening 19th century tale, the Bell family of Adams, Tennessee had one serious ghost problem. The spirit, soon known as the Bell Witch, tormented the prominent farming family for years, upsetting furniture, assaulting them, cursing them, driving off the daughter's suitor, and finally killing. People traveled from all over to witness the disturbing events, many of whom were chased away by the shrieking specter. In 1820, John Bell, the patriarch, was supposedly poisoned. According to the family, as he lay dying, they could hear the witch laughing.
The Bell Witch spoke in a disembodied voice. I gave old Jack a big dose of that last night, which fixed him.
To this day, unaccountable disturbances are reported on the Red River Settlement, the site of the old Bell farm, and these disturbances are thought to be the work of the violent witch. Number 4. The Ghost of Anne Boleyn.
I loved you. And I love you still. Please, after everything we've been to each other, after everything we were, please.
The ghost of King Henry VIII's ill-fated second wife, Anne Boleyn, has been allegedly spotted throughout the UK. Most frequently, she's seen at the Tower of London, where she spent her final days, was beheaded, and later buried. However, the Queen has also been seen at the window of the Dean's Cloister at Windsor Castle. Most dramatically, Boleyn is said to haunt Blickling Hall as well, a grand manor built on the old Boleyn family property. On the grounds, she is said to be occasionally seen arriving by a ghostly carriage, driven by headless horses and a headless coachman, while she herself holds her severed head on her lap. Well, that's one way to make an entrance.
My lady, I can now tell you that the king has decreed that you will not be burned, but suffer a quicker death by decapitation.
Number 3. Banshee.
The banshee!
A shadowy specter from Irish folklore. The name Banshee comes from the Gaelic words meaning lady or woman and fairy. But she is no Tinkerbell. While more frequently heard than seen, this ghoul is said to appear as either an old hag or a beautiful woman, but always folded in a dark, ragged cloak and with long, wild hair. Unlike most ghosts, banshees are not the lost souls of once living people, but more a force of nature. Her wailing is said to herald the approach of death, and to hear her cry is to know that someone in the family will soon die. Once a family hears the banshee screaming, there's nothing they can do but wait for the inevitable. Number 2. Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary.
It's an old slumber party standby. The blood-soaked woman is said to appear to anyone brave or foolish enough to stand in front of a mirror at night and say her name 3 times. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody... Nope, can't, scared.
Biggie Smalls. Biggie. Hey, Phyllis! Ah! Ah!
But the results supposedly vary. Some say she will tell your future. Others say that she will scratch out the eyes of whoever called her. This ghost is said to be the spirit of Mary I of England, who earned her grisly moniker after having hundreds of Protestants butchered. The Bloody Mary legend has gone on to inspire many movies and TV shows. Personally, we prefer our Bloody Marys with a stalk of celery and lots of ice.
You killed them.
Number 1. The Headless Horseman. Legends of horsemen, clad in black and headless, crop up everywhere, from Ireland to Germany to America to India. In some tales, the horseman is either death itself or death's servant, but at other times it's a heroic figure, such as in Germany, where he blows his horn, don't ask how, to warn hunters of danger, or seeks out revenge on those who've committed serious crimes. But perhaps the most famous Headless Horseman is the ghastly villain of Washington Irving's 1820 short story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, where a headless rider chases off the schoolmaster Ichabod Crane on a dark night, or goes on a murder spree like in the Tim Burton adaptation. Your choice. Do you agree with our list? What's your favorite legendary ghoul? For more haunting top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Here's Johnny!